You're off duty. Recreation. What did you do? What did you do? Did you go into town, or did you just do things on the base? I mean, what did you do when you had free time?
It was a semi-isolated assignment. We stayed on base. All you could do was swim, play pool, do things of that nature. There were no theaters. 2 theaters on base. Off base, there was no real theater that you could go to. In Libya at the time, there was a policeman stationed on every corner, and they still didn't like Americans as not to do anything. In fact, the ladies all covered up, and if they ever saw one of them talk to you, she would be basically ostracized immediately. And so they were saying, if you want to pick up a girl, you got to drive past her in the car, and she'd show you her face, and then she covers it back up, and you stop the car blocked down, and she's interested, she'll get in the car. So that didn't happen too many times. I had cars. But the bottom line was that there wasn't very much to do. We did take tours to go somewhere. What was it, Tunis?
So very little interaction between the military and the civilian.
Very little, except for the fact there were 2 rules. If you got in trouble, you'd be immediately transferred off base and sent back to the States, because they were afraid that the civilian employees, someone might come and kill you in your sleep. We just didn't have that kind of relationship. It was very restrictive. In fact, working on the main gate at Tripoli, one day, I was working with this air guard, and the king was coming on base. And when they came on base, we saluted, did our military courtesy thing. But for them, they were supposed to turn their back.
Oh.
They were not supposed to look at him. Well, I guess he had been with us too long.
Oh.
Because when the king came through, he was standing there and he was looking. And they immediately removed him.
Was that right?
Oh, yeah, we never saw him again.
Huh.
They snatched him and he never came back again.
Interesting, the different etiquettes that you will find in different places in the world like that, yeah. So you really didn't have much interaction. You did have
you could take a tour.
Libyan guards with you, like at the front gate and stuff.
Right.
But otherwise, you really didn't have much. There weren't many Libyans that worked on the base as civilians then?
People had housekeepers who were Libyan.
Okay.
Libya that did clean, but there was not a lot of contact. The closest thing to contact you'd have on base was with the Italians.
Oh.
And that worked out for some people. Some people had girlfriends who were Italian, and they were going to the Italian community. But there was not really a lot of socializing. The Arabs didn't want to socialize, so
then you didn't socialize.
Even if you wanted them, you become friends with some who treated you. You treated them fair, they treated you fair. Yeah. But there was nothing exceptional.
So now you're in France, going to school, studying
French history.
French history?
French.
You speak French?
That was some years ago. Whatever I learned at that time is long gone.
Well, I mean, how could you go to class if the class is in French and you don't speak French?
It was taught by Americans.
Okay.
We went to school in France.
Okay.
But they were
This was an American school.
It was an American school.
Okay.
You had American instructors basically who lived in France, and they taught. Most military bases had some college courses, and basically what they did was took them and gave. You got a year history, and it was condensed into 3 months. A year language study and a year history, French history, all condensed into 1 year.
Wow.
And 3 months.
3 months.
So it was intense. It was pretty interesting. You like that sort of thing, which I did, because historic-wise, I learned things.
Yeah. And obviously this was a little better place when you were out of class to wander around than Libya was.
Oh yeah. Now that was much. Like I said, that was my tour of Europe. It was a free tour of Europe.
Yeah.
I went to Paris, went to London, toured Brussels, and went out at night, looked at clubs, and it was a free tour. You can go to the Eiffel Tower and go shop.
How would you had a car or?
We rented a car.
Just rent a car and
got on a train.
Or got on a train and go. So that was great.
That was the best deal I ever had in terms of the military.
Yeah, I would say that would be a lot of fun to get to see Europe for free.
Because I didn't know I was going to be able to go. You never, my attitude at the time was always fill out the application. If you qualify, you go. If you don't, you don't. There were probably reasons why I went, but due to the nature of the time, for instance, promotion in Libya. I was studying law enforcement, and my captain was had his degree in law enforcement. He had books that he was letting me read.
Oh.
And so I'm studying and asking questions and interested in my duty, doing my duty, getting good appraisals, out of the bomb dump, doing all the extra things that you needed to do. And came promotion time, I got passed over. And the person that got promoted was a dog man. Now,